Stop avoiding the work. Something that everybody loves to do, but everybody knows deep down that when you're avoiding the work that you're supposed to be doing, it's not really beneficial for you. It may seem right in the moment, but in the long run, it kind of just it makes you worse. Just stop avoiding the work. And I'm about to tell you why you should stop avoiding it. Bro, comfort is expensive. And as a person who has been working towards a goal all year and has been working towards a goal for a long time, everything that you want is on the other side of the hard work that you're avoiding. So it may seem cool right now that you chilling, you feel what I'm saying? You posted up on YouTube, probably got a little snack in front of you, and I hope I'm convicting you a little bit because you know deep down what you're supposed to be doing, and you know that you're supposed to be doing the hard work, but you're kind of avoiding it, but not because you're scared of it, but because it's kind of hard. It kind of pushes you out of your comfort zone. It makes you uncomfortable. But the quicker that you realize the uncomfortableness in hard work is not just uncomfortable because it's meant to make you uneasy. It's uncomfortable because it's molding you and sharpening you to make you into the man, woman, whatever you're supposed to be today. A lot of times I find myself thinking about how I could have done something better or how I could have done something in the past. And as someone who's put their goals off for a long time and is just now really starting to lock in on things, let me just tell you, bro, avoiding the work now does not make it easier. All that does is make it heavier later. I will take failure 7 days of the week over regret because failure means that I'm actually trying and I'm just falling on my face, but I got to get back up. Regret is coming from a sense of I should have done this and I didn't. And now I'm stuck even deeper in a hole that I could be a little further out of. But whereas failure kind of looks like you're crawling out and then you come back down. But when you crawl up a little more, you get a little higher and you come back down. It's all the same thing. And let me just sidetrack a little bit. Let me just tell you, and this may hurt, motivation is not real, okay? Motivation is cool. It makes you want to post on Instagram. It gets you started, but discipline is what finishes it, right? So motivation is like kickstarting it. Boom. You're jumping, you kickstart it, and that's what gets you started. But the discipline is what keeps you going when you feel like you're full throttle and you feel like you ain't got nothing left to do. That discipline is what's going to get you to the finish line. Motivation is not real. It will never be real. It may seem real, but a lot of people I feel like chase their dreams off of sheer motivation, and then that motivation fades and they're like, man, I don't even know if I'm meant to do this. When in reality, when the motivation fades, the discipline is what kicks in, and what keeps you going is what going to keep you in that rhythm. I don't think a lot of people are operating off of discipline. I feel like a lot of them are operating off of motivation, which if your motivation every day is the same, then you got something that not a lot of people have, and you definitely need to keep going. But as someone who has been doing it for a long time, and I've talked to a lot of different people who are chasing their goals, they all say the same thing, and it's that motivation fades. You're not going to have that same tenacity to do something every day. You're not going to have the same energy, but that discipline is what's going to kick in and make you be like, all right, but I know I need to do this, even though I don't really want to. I know I need to do it, so I'm going to do it anyway. And that's what discipline is. One of the things that you genuinely need to realize is that all of the work and the life that you want, the money, whatever it is that you're chasing, is all on the other side of the work that you're avoiding. And I know you're really excited to get what you want, and I know you're really excited to get your goals, reach your goals, whatever it may be, but you cannot take shortcuts. You can't cut corners because all that's doing is making you go further. And I know it seems easy to want to cut those corners, to want to make it feel like you're actually doing something when you're really not. In my industry, a lot of small streamers, a lot of small creators will bot things, bot followers, bot viewers, and that all shows to the people that are genuinely working and to the people that are genuinely growing a community. And I just know that cutting corners, it seems like it's right because I've cut corners myself in the past, but I can tell you right now, it's better for you to just endure through the hard stuff, endure whatever the word is, endure through the hard stuff and just tough it out, get through the thick and just push through. Because when you cut corners, I promise you, all you're doing is making your goal go a little further away. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes people do get away with cutting corners, but you have to realize that nothing good ultimately is coming out of corners, because when you want something really bad, you have a really hard time at figuring out where you are in the moment in relation to where you want to be, right? So when you're really chasing your goals, you need to really just soak and be in the moment of where it sucks, because that suck is what's forming you and molding you, like I've said previously, and it's making you into the person that you want to be. So when you do reach your goal, you're ready for that moment. Cutting corners will put you in a place that you may feel like is right, but all that's doing is making you more uncomfortable, and it's not the good uncomfortable. It's more so like I'm going to try and do this right here. And then if somebody asks you a question about something and you cut the corner, pretty much look at that as like you cheating on a test and you don't know the answer to it. So just be the person that you want to be, embrace the suck, embrace the chaos, embrace I don't know what I'm doing, figure it out and move from there. A lot of times I talk to people and they're like, well, I just feel like this would be a little easier for me. Bro, just because something's easier doesn't mean it's better. You feel what I'm saying? So you really got to lock in, bro. I promise you, it'll pay off 1 million times better than if you try and cut that little corner through them little bushes. Because when you're taking a path that's made for you, it's going to be rough gravel. But when you get to that pavement, you're going to be like, oh, all right. And then you're going to get to asphalt and you're going to be like, oh, this is real smooth. But when you cut corner, you're kind of cutting through those barbs. You're getting those little nicks and those things that make you not ready. And then when you get to the path that you're meant for, you're going to be cut down a week. So I have talked to a lot of people. I'm fortunate enough to talk to a lot of people that have reached their goals in businesses and content and just a group of different things. And they've all told me something that has resonated with me. And it's that easy choices now create hard lives later, and hard choices now create the easy lives later. And one of the dudes told me that when you are living in your moment, right? You're chilling, and you're making a hard decision when you don't really want to go do something. It's like going to the gym, bro. When you go to the gym, some days you don't really want to go, gang. I'm going to just keep it a P with you. You don't want to go, but you still go. And after you feel better, you're like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. I'm glad I did this. Or you hit a PR that day, or you reached a new, feel what I'm saying? Anything. That is the prime example of hard choices now create easy lives later. And I feel like a lot of people now in this day and age, they want that instant gratification, man. And it's the instant gratification of, okay, well, if I do something, I want something immediately. But bro, all these decisions that you're making aren't making a difference now. You're just getting reps and you're putting blocks on, and you have to continue to just working through the hard things, because those things that you're doing will start to reap the benefits later. I'm stumbling because my mind's trying to go faster than my mouth can talk, but I promise y'all, the decisions that you make today will directly affect your future. So if you make easy decisions now, you may have a hard life later, or you make the hard choices now, you're going to have an easier life later. A lot of people work hard for like a good week or two or a month, and then they realize that they're not seeing any benefits directly, and they see little tiny things, but they give up. The person that shows up to the gym consistently and they work out at 10% for their entire workout versus the person that shows up and works out 100% 2 times a week, the consistent person is going to win, because they persevered through the bad stuff and they persevered through the days that they didn't want to do it. Whereas the person that only works out 100% twice a week is going to be further behind, because they're just like, oh, well, I'll just do it when I feel good. You got to do things when you don't feel good, bro. You got to do things when you're not feeling right. And I'm not saying if you're deathly sick, bro, stay your ass at home, gang. That's all right. Excuse my French, but stay at home, but still work towards something. And even at home, because you don't realize it now, but the decisions that you make now are, I promise you, directly affecting your future. And let's talk about confidence a little bit. Okay, let's talk about confidence. Confidence is not going to be there at first, okay? You're not going to have any idea what you're doing. You're going to feel like you're just kind of jumping into an abyss. But why you're avoiding the work is because you don't have confidence. How do you build the confidence? Great question. By doing the work, gang. It's super simple. When you show up every day for a week, you have a week of results. Whereas the person that didn't show up at all last week doesn't have any results. And then you have the confidence to do the stuff because you're like, okay, I learned this last week. Let me implement what I learned last week into this week. So you're building confidence. Let me just tell you something. When you're first starting something out, you are not going to have the greatest confidence ever of somebody that's already made it in whatever it is that you're doing. It's just not true. It's just not ever going to be the case unless you're delusional, which delusion does feed directly into confidence. But sometimes you're going to have delusion and feel like you're doing something right and the whole time you're not doing it right. But when you do find out that you're doing it right and you do find out the right way to do something, then you have the confidence because you're knowing that you're doing it. Confidence is built off of hard work. Confidence is built off of work. Let's take the hard away from it. Confidence is built off of doing something consistently and crafting it and molding and turning it perfectly into what you want it to be. When you really want to do something and you don't know what you're doing at first, you're not going to have confidence. And I hope that makes you feel better because now you can go, okay, I'm not going to know what I'm doing. I'm just going to do it. Post whatever it is that you need to post, do whatever it is you need to do, work out, do whatever, but confidence comes from doing the work. A hard fact that a lot of people know and that a lot of people don't know is that most people lose not because they're incapable, but because they quit far too early. And this goes directly with everything that I was just talking about. When you have a hard day, please don't quit. When you have a hard day, push through it because it'll make you feel better, one. Two, you are learning, bro. You're learning. Every day is not going to be peaches and cream. Someday it might be salt and vinegar on a wound, gang. Sometimes it might be baking soda on a fresh cut. But what happens is you keep pouring it on there, scabs up, and you get tougher from it. Just because you're having a bad day, nobody feels bad for you, gang. Just keep pushing. You can feel bad later when it's done, but you're not going to have time to feel bad because you'll be happy that you did it. You feel what I'm saying? Don't quit early, chat. Y'all know what I'm talking about. YouTube, y'all know what I'm talking about. When you talking about how, okay, yeah, this is what I want to do, and you picking at something every day, you swinging that pickaxe, boom, boom. Everybody's seen that video of that guy walking away, and then the one where the guy is right there, and he's still a little further away, but his tenacity, he's still swinging. And then the guy that's walking away, he was right there, but then he quit. Gang, that could be you, bro. Don't be the guy that walks away. Phantom said it best. Why would I quit today when tomorrow could be the day that I win? Why would I quit today when tomorrow could be the day that I win, bro? Do not quit. I promise you that you will be okay. Do the work. Don't avoid it. All this to say, your future self will be so glad that you put the work in, that you didn't avoid it, that you didn't take shortcuts, that you didn't quit, because your future self will have everything that you've ever wanted, whether that's money, whether that's the dream body, whether that's the dream business, whatever it may be. Your future self will thank you, and you will thank you because you knew what you needed to do. You didn't know how to do it, but you still learned because you did the work. You got stronger because you went on the days that you didn't. And you also proved to yourself that you're strong enough to make it through 100% of your bad days. You have made it through 100% of your bad days. And I'm here to tell you right now that yes, I ramble and yes, I talk about a bunch of different things, but all this to say, stop avoiding the work because all that does is make it bigger when you run away from it and smaller when you run towards it.